After a rough week on the road, the Rockies are back home. It will be a brief time at 20th and Blake. They'll play 3 against the Giants before heading back out on the road. The Giants in town for the next 3 days. The Rockies welcoming in the division leaders on a beautiful Monday night at the ballpark. And good evening, everybody. Hi once again with Jeff Hewson. I'm Drew Goodman. It was a short night of sleep for the Rockies. They got in very late, but so did the San Francisco Giants, because last night they were beating up the Dodgers 4-0. They took 2 of 3 from L.A. They're now 5.5 north of the Dodgers in the division. They're playing good baseball.
Yeah, they are. They're 18 games above 500, and I think everybody thought when the Dodgers went out and made all the trades that they would just run away with the division, but they haven't done that, and they got 22 games remaining against teams within their own division, so they control their own destiny. 271 road average. They're averaging over 5 runs a game out on the road. That's only trails the LA Angels for most. And also 47 Ks. 47 Ks when you think, saves without Brian Wilson, who was injured here earlier this year. You would think that their pitching staff wouldn't be able to do what they've done.
They've pieced things together, because obviously Melky Cabrera is not in the middle of their lineup anymore. They have found ways to win baseball games. You have to give them credit. Again, 5.5 above the Dodgers, and they've played great baseball here at Coors Field. The Rockies will try to turn that around tonight. One of the guys they hope to contribute, that man, Jordan Pacheco. More on the Rockies' first baseman tonight when we return.
He's in town for a quick 3 against the Giants. They're back in the Mile High after a rough 1-6 road trip. Jenny Kapnar back with you field level. Now, one person that has been a constant silver lining for the Rockies this entire season is rookie Jordan Pacheco. Offensively, he leads National League rookies with his .307 batting average, and defensively, he has been versatile as can be. 80 starts at third base, and tonight he'll be getting his 20th start at first base, and he said he's had a good teacher to future Hall of Famer Todd Helton.
You watch Todd play it, and he makes it look so easy, especially when guys throw the ball across the diamond. Even when I throw it sometimes, and you throw it in the ground, in the dirt, and he just makes it look so easy when he picks the ball. So definitely trying to learn how to do that, somewhat like Todd.
And as you can see, he's becoming a fan favorite very quick here in the Mile High. A couple of signs already saying, go Jordan Pacheco. They want him to be a big part of this series. Well, this series is starting tonight with first pitch coming up around the corner. Alex White and Ryan Vogelsong will open up the three-game set between the Rockies and the NLS leading Giants.
Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota moving forward by CenturyLink, fast speed and a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Ooh, that's up in Evergreen, evidently, in a single track mountain biking. Great day for it today. Well, that's I just been told, I couldn't tell, but that's Crash on the bike in front.
Is that it?
And there's Crash, one of our top photogs. And the way he got that nickname, oh, I can't go into it. Never mind.
But that's not a good nickname to have while you're riding a bike, is it?
No, it's not. But hopefully, it looks like he stayed upright today. Angel Pagan will lead things off for the Giants, who got into town even later than the Rockies did last night. Rockies landed about 1 o'clock last night, and the Giants got in about 2 after their nationally televised ball game at home against Los Angeles. Here's the rest of the lineup for Bruce Bochy. Marco Scutaro has been an enormous addition since coming from the Rockies to the Giants. He's been outstanding. Then Pablo Sandoval, the incomparable Buster Posey, Hunter Pence, Brandon Belt, Gregor Blanco playing a lot of left field now that Melky Cabrera is suspended, Brandon Crawford's been very steady at shortstop. And on the hill, Ryan Vogelsong. Alex White is trying to accomplish a couple of things tonight, and one is give the Rockies some length. And I know every time Alex has taken the hill of late, we've said the same thing, but he needs to work beyond the fourth inning, Jeff.
Yeah, 7 straight starts now for Alex White, where he's gone 4 innings or less against the San Francisco Giants in his career. 0-2 with a 7.90 ERA. His last win was back on June 3rd, and it's a fastball, 2-seamer, sinker, changeup, and slider. And the key with the fastball, at least a sinking fastball with Alex White, don't try to be so fine with it. Don't try to hit the corner. Set up more in the middle part of the plate. Let the natural action of the baseball take over, and then that way it'll get to the corner.
Well, that's the game plan for Alex White. We'll see if he's able to implement that and get some early outs. So Pagan hitting at 287, produced his 11th triple last night. Tied Dexter Fowler for the National League lead in triples. Here's the 1-0 on Pagan. And that's a little bit high. Tim McClellan is behind home plate, so you always have to wait a moment. Tim takes his time making the balls and strikes call. Starlin Castro, Jose Reyes also with 11 triples. That's in there. 2-1.
And Tim usually has a higher strike zone because Tim's 6'6", so he likes to call the ball up more than the ball down.
And that's lined to center field, a base hit. Chasing it is Colvin. Pagan will stop after a wide turn. Nice job by Tyler to make sure that Pagan stayed at first base. Leadoff single for Pagan. That'll bring up Marco Scutaro. Defensively, the Rockies have Cargo in left. He sat out the night affair yesterday. Colvin's in center. Dexter played both games yesterday. Charlie Blackmon is in right. And then it's Nelson, Rutledge, LeMahieu, and Pacheco with Ramon Hernandez catching again. Ramon caught in the evening affair in Philadelphia last night. Of course, Rosario, if you watch, really struggled yesterday afternoon. He had 4 pass balls, and Jim Tracy elected to give him kind of a day of rest mentally.
Yeah, just another breather so we can sit back and watch the game and watch how Ramon, how relaxed he is behind the plate. He's not fighting the pitches as they come in, and how he controls the flow of the action.
Talking to people with the Giants, Marco Scutaro and Angel Pagan are the two names, along with Buster Posey naturally, mentioned the most as to why the Giants have been able to maintain their status at the top of the NL West despite the shock of losing Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, Pagan gets on base. He has 25 stolen bases and 32 attempts, so he disrupts the pitcher when he gets out there. But Scutaro hitting second, he'll take pitches. He can hit behind the runner, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
And so that approach there, he was trying to hit behind Pagan.
Right, and so what it allows them to do is immediately put pressure on the opposing pitcher, and then you have Sandoval and Posey to follow it up if those guys get into scoring position.
Marco's become a run producer with the Giants in 95 games with the Rockies, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs, and that was fine. Marco did a good job. He's hitting near the top of the lineup. With the Giants, he's had more traffic. He's driven in 27 runs in 41 games, and he's hit 327 with San Francisco in obviously a much tougher ballpark at home to hit it.
Yeah, he's hitting 321 at home, and that's even higher than what he was hitting here at Coors Field. And Coors Field, known for the big outfields, he was hitting 302 here, so he's 321 out in San Francisco. Well, listen, in a place that you're not supposed to be able to hit.
He's a guy that's always been a good player, and he's gotten better with age. I mean, Marco's 36, but last year with the Red Sox, he had 299. So this isn't, decent numbers out of nowhere.
And playing every day at 36.
Talking to Bruce Bochy about him, and he was raving about what Scudero has brought. 1-2.
There's a slider that got away from Alex, got around the side of the baseball, not out in front to finish it off. I mean, the arm action just tells you that it slipped out of his hand, the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Ramon had to guess where that ball was going. This will give us a better look out of the hand. And that wasn't the slider, it's actually the split finger that he throws. It just had the slider action on the baseball.
Ground ball knocked down by Nelson, and that's all. Scudero will have a base hit. The first two have reached. Nobody out for Pablo Sandoval.
Well, if he doesn't knock this down, it's a double at the minimum for Scudero, and they would be sitting at second and third. Right down the line, you get the two-hopper. It takes a kick off the glove, but Chris scrambling around to keep Pagan at second base. Chris, a couple errors in yesterday's game in the nightcap. Recovered on that ball off the bat of Scudero.
So Pablo Sandoval had that hamate bone injury earlier in the year. He has not hit a home run since he's come off the DL. But I tell you what he has done of late. He has hit with runners in scoring position. 11 for his last 23.
He can always do that. I mean, he likes to hit. And that hamate bone with the barrel, that's where that bone is, and it rests. The handle rests on that area, and that's when you get those broken bones and you have to have surgery. So for Pablo, what he's doing, he's got a bigger batting glove. He's got extra padding on the right glove.
Two-0 count on Sandoval. Two on and nobody out, just underway at Coors Field. And that's on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1. See if the Rockies can get a ground ball here, turn a pair. He got away with a mistake. That was a slider that was saying hit me in the middle of the plate.
And Sandoval fouled it off. Eyes got big, got a big swing though. He was swinging for the fences.
Well, your eyes light up when you see
a
slider that turns into, as they say, a cement mixer. No movement. 2-2. Ground ball to third. Chance to two. They go to Rutledge, and on to first, they still turn it over. That was 5-6-3. Rutledge had to double clutch to get it out of his glove because the second baseman, LeMahieu, was on the pull side. It was Rutledge who had the coverage on the ground ball to Nelson.
Yeah, and they needed to talk about this before it happens. Okay, here's DJ. He should be over in this position if it was a normal double play depth. As we run it, you can see where Josh Rutledge is, real close to the bag. Folks, you're not going to ever see, or very rarely are you going to see a 5 to 6 to 3 double play. And Chris had to double clutch and wait until Rutledge got there before he made that throw.
Tell you what, here is where you really want to be careful. Buster Posey is hitting 68 points higher than Hunter Pence, who's on deck. Now, I know it's the first inning. But this is one of the bright young stars in the game. 1-1. In fact, he had an epic at bat last night against Joe Blanton. It went 10 pitches, got a breaking ball, and he hit it over the center field fence at home, which is a long way.
And at night.
at night. Absolutely.
Just when that heavy sea air starts to put a blanket over the whole field at AT&T Park.
Here's the 1-1. And this ball is well hit to right. Blackman going back will make the catch. One more footnote on that home run. Joe Blanton afterwards said that may have been the best at bat I've ever had against me. Will try to get after Ryan Vogelsong, and they'll begin with Tyler Colvin tonight. Again, Dexter Fowler's fine, just getting the night off after playing 2 yesterday. Josh Rutledge will follow in Jim Tracy's batting order presented by Southwest Airlines. Then it'll be Carlos Gonzalez, Jordan Pacheco, Ramon Hernandez. Chris Nelson hit a 3-run home run yesterday. Charlie Blackman, DJ LeMahieu, and Alex White. Well, Ryan Vogelsong was having a terrific year. In fact, a few weeks ago, he was 10-5 with a 2.27 ERA. But of late, he has produced an ERA above 10.
Yeah, it's not good for him. Guys are hitting 3.85 ERA, 10.13 fastball, 56% of the time, almost 57. It'll be 92 to 94 miles an hour. Curveballs over the top to the 12-6 variety and a slider.
And Colvin leans on one, and he hits it over the head of Pagan. And he'll cruise into second with a double. Angel took an interesting route to that ball. I don't think he would have caught it anyhow, but he didn't realize how well that was struck by Tyler Colvin.
And he forgot where he was, too. He knew he was in Denver, but this ball goes further than it would in AT&T Park. This is what you do to a guy that has struggled in his last 5 starts. You jump on him right away. Don't give him any breathing room. 22nd double this year for Tyler Colvin. And I'm not sure even if Angel Pagan had taken the right route that he's catching it. That's short off the wall.
So a nice little start for the Rockies. Colvin at second. Rutledge will try to move him along. Tough road trip for everybody offensively. The Rockies went 1-6. They pitched well for the most part, but really struggled to hit. In fact, during this 5-game losing streak, they've scored runs in just 3 of their last 45 innings.
And just a total of 8 runs during that time.
Not going to win you many ball games. You score 8 in 5 outings.
Yeah, 4 of them came yesterday in the 3rd inning.
Rutledge went 5 for 26 on the trip. Vogelsong normally has that type of control.
And that's what's hurt him in this losing stretch that he's had since August 13th.
He painted the black there. It's 1-2.
And 24 earned runs and 21 in the 3rd innings for Vogelsong.
Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies tacos special. And this ball is hit well to right. Going back is Pence. He's not going to catch it. This is going to be back-to-back doubles. Colvin will come in and score. 1-0 Rockies. Josh Rutledge behind in the count. Unloads to deep right, his 28th RBI.
And his 15th double this season. And this is a perfect way, if you're Josh Rutledge, to attack this baseball in this situation, because you have a runner on second base. You need to get him at worst over to third, but you're strong enough to hit it there and drive it out to right field. I mean, the head down, the follow through, the extension is all so beautiful. And then it gets out to the wall, and you're sitting in the same situation as you started this inning. Another runner at second base, already 1 run in for Carlos.
And Cargo hits a slow roller to second. The good news is Carlos able to move Rutledge 90 feet.
Just looking to see if Bruce Bochy's going to bring his infield in, or does he think he's going to be able to score enough runs where he'll just keep them back. Ron Wotus, their bench coach, is signaling to the infielders, just go ahead and back it up the middle. That's Ron. He's in charge. He and Tim Flannery are in charge of what's going to happen.
Look out.
If you're Jordan, the only 2 or 3 places you don't want to hit it. One back to the pitcher or to either corner infielders, either first or third.
One ball, 1 strike on Pacheco. Vogelsong a perfect 5-0 with a 180 ERA against the Rockies all time in 6 starts. And this will get the run home as Jordan bounces it into center field. 2-0 Colorado. RBI number 42 for Pacheco.
They didn't try to do too much with the baseball, just hit it where it was pitched and got it over the head of Vogelsong. And once he does that, shortstop Brandon Crawford's not going to be able to get it. Hit right out in front of home plate, 1.5 feet, 2 feet. It just catches the momentum and carries it out to center.
Ramon Hernandez at the plate.
Well, already tonight, the Rockies are 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. For that series against the Dodgers, they held them for 1 for 23.
Huge win last night, acknowledged by both Bruce Bochy and Don Mattingly. Talking about a 2-game swing. If the Dodgers were able to win last night, it's a 3.5 game span between the 2 clubs. Now the Giants come here, they're up by 5.5. And the next 22 for the Giants, their last 22, are all inside the NL West. Their next 19 are against the Rockies, Padres, and Arizona, all teams below 500. And then they'll conclude the season against the Dodgers. The Dodgers, conversely, have a far more difficult schedule, and they're trying to play catch-up. The Dodgers will face St. Louis, Washington, and Cincinnati.
all clubs that are battling not only for the division but also the wild card.
Posey and Sandoval. Buster will make the play. 2 outs. That'll bring up Chris Nelson. Let's check the big hit presented by Mako. The company repairs all kinds of hits. Chris Nelson, a no-doubter to left. 3-run shot for Nelly with mom and dad in attendance. That gave the Rockies a 4-1 lead. Unfortunately, it did not hold up. Rockies would lose 7-4 in that nightcap after losing in the afternoon 3-2. Check out your local Mako for collision repairs and auto painting for as low as $349. Visit Mako.com today. Giants have the best interdivision record.
Number 30-20 against teams in the National League West, and when you are leading the division, you want to be able to control your own destiny. And how do you do that? Playing teams that you know that are trailing you, like the Dodgers, but you have other clubs where not only you play them out on the road where they've been well and played well, but you get them at home too.
Here's what the Giants have left. 3 games here, then they go to Arizona, then they're home for 4 against the Rockies, and that homestand continues with the Padres and D-backs, and then it's down the coast to San Diego, and they finish against the Dodgers.
Yeah, and on that homestand they might wrap up the division before they even have to play the Dodgers.
Well, the Dodgers are going to have to be special, and they're going to need help from San Francisco. Dwindling amount of games left. Rockies jump out on the Giants 2-0.
Now headed to the top of the second. That's when Hunter Pence will come up to bat. You know, he was part of many of the moves that the Giants made at trade deadline this year. He came over from the Philadelphia Phillies. He has 28 RBIs since he's put on a Giants uniform. That leads all Giants right now. When you take a look at his numbers against the Rockies this year, he's played 6 games in a Phillies uniform, 6 games in a Giants uniform. Significantly better when he's in a Giants uniform. And I got a chance to talk to him today about trading teams in the middle of the season, especially going from the Phillies to the Giants when the Phillies aren't in contention this year. And he said, you know, I feel really blessed and lucky to have played for a lot of great ball clubs, but there's just something special about being with these guys because every day it's so much fun to go out and play. This is coming from a guy who's had experience in the postseason with other teams, Drew and Jeff.
Yeah, Hunter Pence, a high-energy guy, and when he is streaking positively, look out.
Well, and that's what he brings, though. He brings energy every day, and he helps those guys around him when you're not feeling well.
Like that.
Like that.
He got a run back with a line shot home run, and that's his 20th of the year, and it's 2-1. Let's see what pitch he hit out. The interesting thing about Alex White, he gets a lot of ground balls with his sinker, but it seems that when the ball is hit in the air, very often it goes over the wall.
Yeah, and it's a slider right there. I mean, that ball did not drop below the knees at all.
And that's a pitch that he has not commanded tonight. We remarked on that in the first inning, Jeff.
Yeah, and major league hitters see that out of the hand, and they know it's not breaking. And you have to get those balls when it comes out of the hand. You have to make it look like it's going to be a strike and dart away from him. But Hunter Pence, his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree.
Third home run. He's hitting a Giant uniform in 39 games. He does have 29 RBIs, so even though he has a low batting average below 230 with San Francisco, he is contributing. Brandon Belt's 5 for 7 against Alex White, but he's behind 0-2. Sinker at 92, darts low. It's 1-2.
See, and I think Alex could be a guy that threw that sinking fastball 85% of the time, commanded, and then used the split finger to get the strikeouts when you need them.
Rutledge will have to hurry. Belt can run safe at first. You can see that coming from far away.
And this is
he's learning a big league clock on hitters right now, isn't he?
Yeah, that clock in your head. You're exactly right, Drew, because watch when he fields this ball. The backhand's good, but stay on the right foot, throw it right now. Instead of taking that extra hop, that little bunny hop to get him going. Belt sniffs out a hit.
Gregor Blanco will take his turn. As I mentioned, Blanco getting a lot of time in left field with Melky Cabrera gone. Blanco's another guy in their lineup that runs well. Cabrera suspended on August the 15th.
And even with the suspension and the number of at-bats had, he's still leading the National League in batting average.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. Over Andrew McCutchen.
One and two. Nobody out. A run in on the home run by Pence. Brandon Belt at first.
Belt was thinking about stealing. He kept jumping out there, but Alex held on to the ball. Belt, 10 stolen bases in 11 attempts. Just saw at the end he bounced back because he'd gotten so far off. Felt uncomfortable out there.
Carr going left, waiting. One out. Brandon Crawford coming up. Let's check the Subway sub prize on the line and standings. Washington 5.5 above Atlanta. The Reds are 8.5 in front of St. Louis. That's the biggest division lead in baseball. And as we've been discussing, the Giants are ahead of the Dodgers by 5.5. Now the wild card, Atlanta is the first seed. St. Louis, if the season ended today, would go. The Dodgers a game and a half back. The Pirates are 2.5 back. Now the Dodgers are off tonight. Pirates are leading in Cincinnati 3-1 in the 7th inning.
That's an extra element from the second wild card team.
It's going to be fun. These final few days of the season. 1-0 on Brandon Crawford, who's provided a steady glove at shortstop.
And just 2 errors in the last 61 games for Crawford.
Yeah, they've had a couple of positions out in the field, really a few, where they haven't had anybody put their foot down and be an anchor at that spot in a while. Shortstop's one of them. Second base, I mean, they went out and got Freddie Sanchez.
Then he gets hurt.
But, you know, he's had all kinds of injury situations. You know, first base has been unsettled.
Well, they tried to get first base to 2 or 3 different guys. They had Aubrey Huff there for a time, and he's still with the club, but not playing every day.
Aubrey had the great year when they won the World Championship. Long run for Cargo, and he's going to get there. Two outs, and that'll bring up the light hitting Ryan Vogelsong. Toyota Talk comes your way in the 6th inning. Text Toyota to 720-720. We'll handle some questions in the 6th inning. And as always, if you text right now, you can learn how to win a 1-year family membership to the Denver Zoo. Four for 46 with 27 Ks for Vogelsong. To short. Rutledge is going to get Vogelsong by a couple of steps. In the inning, Hunter Pence hits his 20th of the year, and it's a 2-1 ball game as the Rockies come to bat in the bottom of the 2nd. Let's check today's Chevys. Dare to compare Chevy's full lineup of vehicles makes it the clear winner. That the competition can't compare. Chevy made for Colorado. Ryan Vogelsong against the Rockies, 5-0, a 180 ERA, and the Rockies have hit a whopping 156 against him. But they have 2 runs tonight in 3 outs of play. Charlie Blackmon's going to lead it off here in the second. And last time Vogelsong faced the Rockies, he went 6 1/3. Allowed 4 runs, but got the victory.
7 strikeouts, and against the Rockies all time, nobody has ever gone 6-0. There's been 5 other guys besides Vogelsong who's gone 5-0. Eric Gagne, Jay Bow, Mark Pryor, Billy Swift. Nobody 6-0.
Billy Swift, who pitched for both the Giants and the Rockies.
Talk about a sinker.
Yeah, one of the reasons the Rockies had great interest in Billy Swift, because of how well he had performed against the Rockies and that super sinker. On the ground, deep in the hole, Crawford. He got Blackmon. And that's a good illustration, a good teaching point for Josh Rutledge.
Right. Watch, if you're Josh Rutledge, watch Brandon Crawford, how much further he had to go for this ball, but how quickly he gets rid of it. In one stride, he makes a throw across his body. 1, 2, gone. You get help from your first baseman on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. He goes out as far as he can to get the short hop to Brandon Belt.
1 out. DJ LeMahieu will take his turn. Down the line, just foul.
Heads up, Eric Cooper.
Eric Cooper had to duck, turn, all in one motion.
Clean the pants off. Umpires are straddling right on the line. He ducks. Easy call.
One and one on DJ. That was a hanger, fouled off by LeMahieu. Well, the Rockies made another move today. Josh Outman, who's been throwing the ball very well at Tulsa now that their season is over. They lost in Game 5 yesterday to Springfield. He was recalled and will work out of the bullpen for the remainder of the season.
And Josh had a no-hitter down in Tulsa up until the last out in the 9th inning.
He's pitched a couple of really strong games of late.
His last 2 starts in particular. And now he's going to be used in a couple different roles for Jim Tracy. He could be the bridge guy. He could go out for an inning or 2. Used much like Matt Reynolds has been used at times throughout the course of this season. Super Suites Conference Center is available for game day or non-game day meetings for groups of 25 to 200. Call 303 Rockies for Super Suites Conference Center information.
Three and two on LeMahieu. And Vogelsong has another pitch fouled off with 1 out here in the 2nd inning.
It's up. Those are the ones that worry you as they're heading into the stands, because that was on the line.
And everybody is okay. Good. Slowly hit to Crawford. That's a good looking play also. And that's another example, Huey. You know, he had to come in and he circled on his backhand. That time he circled and was able to get to the forehand to get a little momentum going to first.
Yeah, because he had a better read on this one, that he could get it on the short hop. And the difference also was a right-handed hitter hit this one. The other time it was a left-handed hitter. So all that is factored in before the ball is hit. Who's running? How fast? Which side of the box are they coming from? And can I get a good jump and read on the ball?
Buster Posey may have something in his eye. That's where the internal clock that we were speaking of comes into play.
Yeah, and it's only something that through experience do you get that clock. Because you can have all the fungos hit to you, all the ground balls hit to you with nobody running. You make the plays. But when that clock starts to ramp up and you feel it going, and then that's when guys like Brandon Crawford and other shortstops, you know, I've got to get rid of it, or I have that extra half a second to throw it.
Ooh, this ball's crushed by Alex White. They needed to move the foul pole. How far would they have had to move it?
Oh, a long ways. It would have taken too much time.
Guaranteed to get a slider after that swing. Oh, he got the fastball again. 0-2. Two outs, nobody on for the Rockies in the second. They're up 2-1. Ryan Vogelsong's 1-2 pitch. And this ball's hit a ton to left center by White. And he has hit it out. He flirted with the home run. He took another big hack. And then he hits a bomb to left center. 3-1. First career home run for Alex White.
I didn't need to move a foul pole. It's just, I'll hit it into left center field.
I mean, all three of these swings were with purpose.
He knew it too.
He's a that's a good swing.
That was a real good swing. I mean, you don't hit the ball out without putting a good swing on it, but mechanically, he got the hips through. He drove off that back leg.
You know, Drew Pomerantz earlier this year hit a home run. His came at Miller Park. And I mean, that's a long way. He's not a small guy. This is a big, strong kid.
No, and a short stride to the baseball, and then a long follow through after you hit it. The good news is he hit it at home, so we'll get the baseball back.
2-0 on Colvin. He fouls it straight back.
Yep. That's the guy that caught the baseball. Okay, he's got it. He's measuring it.
And you know what? He caught the hat after he caught the baseball. Is that my man who's caught like dozens of balls out there over the years?
Yes.
He's always in the right spot.
Well, and he brings his glove.
Wave to us now.
He's trying to find the camera.
Ooh, that's off of Vogelsong. Colvin's got a hustle. He's going to get the hit, and he would have been in second. No, he never turned into fair territory. That ball ricocheted off Eric Cooper.
Yeah, but you don't actually have to completely turn. You just have to move your body like you're attempting to go that way.
We'll have to look again. I didn't see it. You evidently did see something. So did Bruce Bochy. Let's look again.
First of all, that hurts off the leg, and then Buster Posey underhand flip or sidearm flip. See that motion right there? That was an attempt to go to second base. It wasn't anything else. So Bruce Bochy did have an argument.
Cooper's looking at him.
And then that's when he went out and tagged him.
You know, in fairness, if it's that close, I think he made the right decision, because it seemed pretty unfair if on a ball that if it got past, if Cooper,
doesn't
hit Cooper, he's easily going to be at second base.
Yeah. But it does say Posey in air, because that ball was going to be into right field, then Tyler Colvin would have been at second base. Now they're going to have a discussion here between Cooper and the home plate umpire, Tim McClellan. Now, we were taught in Little League that you had to make a complete turn to go, but it's just a motion, an act of going to the next base at first.
They're calling him out.
You know what, folks? It's the right call.
It's the right call, but it stinks because the only reason, you know, instinctively you see the ball go by, you're not expecting it to hit the umpire.
No, it's not anything that Tyler Colvin did wrong.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking the ball is getting by, I'm going to get to second base. But they got it right. I mean, they got together. They made the right call.
And Eric Cooper, who looked at it, he was looking at Colvin. We had the shot of it. Gets overruled. Well, the Rockies have their 2-run lead again, thanks to the home run by Alex White. 3-1 Rockies as we go to the third. Sandoval. High school football returns to Root Sports on October the 5th, and we want you to decide which Colorado matchup do you want to see that particular night. Visit rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain to nominate the best matchup from your perspective on October the 5th.
early in this game. And more ground ball outs for Vogelsong. Pitch counts very similar, but the 3-1 lead for the Rockies, and part of that's due to the bat of Alex White.
Well, you'd love for him to stick around long enough that he actually has an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, his last time was June 3rd. Was his last W.
7 straight ball games he has not moved beyond the 4th inning, and it's 3-1 on Pagan, who he gave up a hit to in the first. Both of Alex White's RBIs in his career have come against the Giants. So you pull Alex White and say, what do you think of that Giants vaunted pitching staff? Come on, take them deep, throw out RBIs every time I face them. On the ground is short. Rutledge throws out Pagan, and that'll bring up Scudero at a base hit down the third base line, his first time up. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. We don't get that view from center field out beyond the stadium much. Look at the mile-high skyline.
Nice to be home, isn't it?
It's always good to be home. Remember Scudero back in April was hitting everything hard, but couldn't buy a hit. He led the league in atom balls.
Hang with them.
Hang with them, yeah, in April. Now he's got 157 hits, which is 10th in the National League.
Well, that's all you can control is how you're at bats, how hard you hit the baseball, the number of quality swings you take.
1 and 2.
That's the last thing a player wants to hear. You hit it hard. Keep swinging it. I want to see results. I want hits. I'll take 4 bloopers, broken bat hits, than 4 attaboys.
They say it evens out.
It doesn't.
But
trust me,
hitters beg to differ, don't they?
Well, if it evened out, then they would be hitting over 400 or 500 sometimes.
Good pitch by White. He strikes out a guy that's tough to strike out, Marco Scudero. That's the first strikeout of the night for Alex. 2 outs. That'll bring up Pablo Sandoval as we check the Farmers Insurance report card. The Giants have dominated the Rockies of late. They're 8-3 this year head to head. And you see they're averaging more than 7 runs a game. Out-homered the Rockies 12-5, and therefore the ERAs reflect that. Also, the Giants have won 5 of 6 at 20th and Blake this year. 9 of their last 10 at the corner of 20th and Blake.
Just 3-2 at AT&T Park.
Here's the 1-0 on Sandoval. He hit into a 5-6-3 double play. You didn't hear me incorrectly. So because there was somewhat of a shift on. Nelson fielded the ball and fired to Rutledge, who had the coverage at second.
Yeah, so in the first 3 innings, we've had a 5-6-3 double play. We've had a pitcher hit a home run, and we've also had a base runner make an attempt to start to go to second base and get tagged out at first. All in 3 innings.
2 and 1. Just wondering what the next 3 will bring us, huh?
That's why we watch this wonderful game.
That's right. Every day you come to the yard, you have no idea what you're going to see. Bat goes towards second. The ball to Pacheco, and that's a very nice 1-2-3 inning as Alex White dominated the top of the Giants lineup. Rockies 3 and San Francisco 1. 5 hits. The Giants have 4. The Rockies and Giants have both hit a home run. Hunter Pence a home run for the Giants. For the Rockies, Alex White. How do you like that? Josh Rutledge, Carlos Gonzalez, Jordan Pacheco in the 3rd. Rutledge a double on a 1-2 pitch to right field to drive in Tyler Colvin, who had doubled in the 1st. Ryan Vogelsong has given up 6 home runs in his last 4 starts after giving up just 10 home runs the rest of the season.
During that time, not only the home runs, guys are hitting 385 off him. Well, if you're not pinpoint with your command like Vogelsong was early and fall behind, guys are going to hit you. I don't care what kind of stuff you have. Major League hitters will make you pay.
Sandoval throws out Rutledge, 1 gone. AT&T trivia question on a Monday night at the ballpark. Buster Posey's having a great season. He will get strong consideration for most valuable player. Who was the last National League catcher to win that coveted award?
You're happy for Buster Posey after the horrific injury he had to the ankle to get back to all-star form and being the leader again. Bright, shining forces in baseball.
1-0 on Cargo, who's a career 1 for 12 against Ryan Vogelsong. Two and 0. See if Cargo the last few weeks of the season can get hot, finish strong. It's been a somewhat difficult second half for Carlos. Particularly out on the road. 3-0. Rockies did take batting practice this afternoon. A lot of times when they get back really late, they won't, but they hadn't been able to take it out on the field the last couple of days. Giants did as well.
Yeah, you weren't able to hit Saturday because of the rain. You're not hitting yesterday with the doubleheader. I like to do that coming back off the road. They take batting practice, shake off some of the late night cobwebs.
(3-2). And Cargo got the barrel on it, but hits a high fly ball to Blanco and left. 2 outs, and that will bring up Jordan Pacheco. Let's take a look at our CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Fast speed, a low monthly price. Visit CenturyLink.com. 94 for Vogelsong, 92 for White.
Vogelsong, an all-star last year for the Giants.
Prior season he was in Japan. And this was a smooth inning. 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd. We move to the 4th. Rockies 3 and the Giants 1.
Rockies have a 2-run lead, 3-1 over the Giants. Well, there has been a Troy Tulowitzki spotting in the Rockies clubhouse today, and it's not because he's back with the big league club. It's because he was here for an evaluation on a scheduled day off. Here's what's going on with Tulo. He played 9 innings with AA Tulsa on Sunday in their Game 5 loss. They are eliminated from the playoffs, so he's back here to be evaluated. And what is next for Tulo?
The assignment's over. Tulsa lost in the 5th game, so I'm done with that. Now I'm back here. I think I'm just gonna, take a couple days to figure out kind of what the plan is. There's no doubt I was getting better, but I don't think I'm to the point where I want to test it out there in Major League ball games.
So Troy said he's just going to take batting practice, get some ground balls, and every day they will evaluate him and see where he's at. And Drew and Jeff, Jim Tracy said today, in September, when you're playing teams like the Giants who are in a playoff race, these are intense caliber games. He does not feel comfortable putting a guy out there that does not feel like he's 100% available to compete.
Yeah, and every time we've talked to Troy about it, you can sense the reticence to go out there. And I'm not saying or suggesting that he didn't play hard when he's playing in Tulsa or in Colorado Springs, but Jeff, having played in the minor leagues for a long time, and then you come out here, his reputation, pride, it's different.
It is, and that's why you have to make sure that you are 100% committed when you go out onto the field. It's not fair to Troy, to his teammates, to the fans, where he goes out and doesn't feel like I can give it my all. Guys play on instincts when they get here. And your first instinct, if you see a ball in the hole, you're going to go at it hard. And the last thing you would hate to happen is for him not quite to be ready, and he gets hurt again.
Yeah, Jim Tracy said as much today. The last thing you want is him to be in a situation where he's spending the entire offseason rehabbing, or maybe even starting to infringe upon his readiness for spring training next March. So there's that desire to get him out on the field. He wants to be out to go into the offseason knowing the last game he played wasn't in May. And the club would like to see him out there, work with Rutledge for 6, 8, 10 games, whatever it could be. But we keep getting the question, and I'm sure we'll see it tonight on the Total Beverage Tech, or on the Toyota Talk. Thank you. That when will Troy come back? Nobody has the answer.
No. And that's where they'll get together with Keith Duggar, the trainer, and talk about it. How do you feel? Is it going to be there for you when you get ready to make an explosive move? And if not, that's okay.
1-2 on Hunter Pence. First time up for Pence. He got a slider that hung out over the plate, and he ripped it. 20th home run for Pence.
The place you don't want to throw Hunter Pence is inside, because his foot goes this way when he strides, and so you can pitch him away.
Strikeout number 2 for Alex White. One thing that's been good to see, he has been mostly ahead of hitters tonight.
Well, and it makes a difference because you can't then guess along with the pitcher. What is he going to throw me? And that was a hard split finger. Spread the fingers out, get off to the seams of the baseball, and throw it like a fastball.
Brandon Belt, an infield hit, his first time up. 3-1 Rockies with Buster Posey at first. Crowd filling in a little bit here on a Monday night. All three ball games are night affairs. The Rockies will head to San Diego on Thursday. Hernandez will check out Posey.
Well, the Giants also have Thursday off before they go to Arizona. So they don't start until Friday. Trying the back pick to get Buster Posey. See if he's napping. One catcher trying to get the other.
Two and two the count. Well, it's that fourth inning, the inning that Alex White can't move beyond. He's got one out and he's sitting on 64 pitches. So a hard ground ball at the infielders would work well here, but that's a hard ground ball through the right side. Posey will stop at second. Colvin slipped out in right for Blackman, slipped out in right field. And they're 2 on with 1 out. And Gregor Blanco coming up.
Well, they were playing in a shift. DJ LeMahieu was deep at second base, and the pitch was not a bad pitch from Alex White. Brandon Belt went out and hooked it. It was on the lower portion of the outside corner. And then the slip from Charlie Blackman. Spikes just give. But he recovered.
Outside. Blanco hit it in the air to left, his first time up. And White gets a swing and a miss.
If Blanco hits it on the ground, it's going to have to be hit hard and right at somebody to turn it. It has not hit into a double play this year. With his speed.
A couple big series in the American League. The White Sox and Detroit playing each other. 6th inning, Detroit leading on the south side of Chicago 1-0. And later on tonight, Oakland is in Anaheim to take on the Angels.
Don't forget about the Angels. They are
red hot, hottest team in baseball. 2 and 2. It's turned into a heck of a division, that American League West, with the rise of the Oakland A's, the no-name Oakland A's.
19 games above 500 for Oakland.
Named 4 starters for the A's. Hard to do, isn't it?
It is.
Seth Smith, the former Rockies, playing on a regular basis.
Cespedes.
Good looking young player. Here's the 3-2 fouled off.
Coco Crisp.
Josh Reddick, big power hitter.
But they're doing it with a number of rookies in the rotation, and continued well wishes to Brandon McCarthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was scary.
That was.
We're going to be in that same situation for Alex White. This next pitch, his 72nd. beautifully hit. Pacheco dives safe at first as he tried to get Brandon Belt. Everybody converging on the bag. Belt naturally. Pacheco, and Eric Cooper was racing to get as good a look as he could, the first base umpire.
When Brandon Belt, big secondary lead, but only took another step and then dove back to the inside part of the bag. Watch him come back that route when he goes back over towards the bag to get away from the dive and the tag of Jordan Pacheco. Correct call from Eric Cooper. Eric's had his work cut out for him tonight.
Well, when they're not hitting balls at him. And think about it, it wasn't just the ball that hit him. Remember the line drive that he had to hop out of the way and wheel around to see if it was fair or foul. And now Bo McLaughlin, after the first pitch misses to Crawford, is going to go out. White has given up a run on 6 hits. He hasn't walked anybody. Sinker ballers by nature want to have quick at bats. I mean, they just assume you hit the first or second pitch on the ground at somebody. And so a lot of times the good sinker ballers, you think Aaron Cook when he was going really well, Brandon Webb with Arizona when he was among the elite pitchers in the game, very low pitch counts to get them deep in ball games. It's been the opposite as White learns how to be a sinker baller at this level.
Yeah, it's a little better pitch differential tonight between strikes and balls than what we've seen in the past from Alex. But you're right. Throw the strikes, get the early ground ball outs. What did Aaron Cook that one complete game? 78 pitches, 81 pitches, something like that. I mean, that's almost an ideal game for a sinker ball pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Fogg had one of those up in Seattle, if you recall, a few years back at Safeco. Here you go, hit it. I want you to hit it.
That's why the guys behind me have gloves. They're getting paid. Use them.
2-0 on Crawford. He hit the ball to left field his first time. Edgmer Escalona is up to get the Rockies through this inning if necessary. Hernandez makes a good play coming out of the chute. Nice play by Ramon. So Alex White gives up a couple of hits, leaves 2 on in the 4th. Rockies ahead 3-1. See, trivia question. The last National League catcher to win the MVP award. Huey, who do you have? Piazza?
Johnny Bench.
Piazza never won one.
Nope.
Johnny Bench back in 1972. 40 home runs and 125 ribbies. Here are some of the candidates. The reigning MVP, Ryan Braun, may have the best numbers again. Buster Posey's had a terrific year. Ryan Zimmerman with division-leading Washington. And what a year for Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, then the stolen bases for McCutchen. I mean, that's a tough one. Ryan Braun,
yeah,
38 home runs. He's going to have 40-plus home runs and 110 RBIs, let's say, at least.
Two of those teams are leading their division, San Francisco and Washington. The Pirates are still in contention for a wild card. So is Milwaukee, by the way. I mean, Milwaukee started the day, I believe, a game under 500, maybe two under 500. 69 and 71. They've won 7 of 10. And I'm sure this ball's well hit to right center. Get back to that point in a moment. Oh, man. Hernandez pulled a muscle. He's going to stop at first base. He either pulled a muscle or rolled an ankle. And the ball bounced out, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
So that's the only reason Ramon's going to get the second base. It'll be a ground rule double. And I'm sure he's going to have to come out. And he's pointing to his knee. And I think he's asking Keith Duggar, do I have to go touch second? Wow.
Can't tell if it's behind the knee, if it's a calf. Watch him out of the box. Oh, wow. It's hard to tell because he doesn't grab anything, just starts hopping.
Wow, so Ramon out, Rosario in. Rockies have a pretty good team on the DL.
You have your starting catcher, starting first baseman, starting shortstop, starting right fielder.
Chris Nelson at the plate. Looking at that injury, Rockies are going to have to get another catcher here.
Yeah, AAA has been done for 5 or 6 days now. AA just ended yesterday.
Yeah, Lars Davis is the #1 AA catcher.
Yeah, stay by your phone. And it just comes down to roster spots.
Yeah, I don't believe, I'm going to double check, I don't believe that Lars Davis is on the 40 man.
Yeah, but you could slide somebody to the 60-day DL
right, to open up a spot.
Open up a spot for him.
He is on the 40 man. No, he is not on the 40 man. Excuse me.
And with Rosario in the game, Pacheco's at first base, so you've got your two catchers playing already.
Two and two. That's outside, so it's 3-2. Yeah, this is a different Ryan Vogelsong. He had the very good third inning, but the Rockies got 2 off him in the first. The home run by Alex White in the second. Colvin hit a bullet off him also in the second. Now the leadoff double by Ramon Hernandez.
This doesn't seem like he's throwing with the same confidence that we've seen Vogelsong.
And you know how one of the reasons you gauge that? Time between pitches.
Yeah, guys that have the confidence, their conviction, I know what I want to throw and I know I'm going to execute it. Give me the baseball, let's go. And when a guy's not, it's 30, 35 seconds. Do I feel confident to throw it? I'm not quite sure. Get discounts and scoreboard recognition, excuse me, when you bring your group of 25 or more to Coors Field. Special pricing and more. 303 Rockies, or go to ColoradoRockies.com/groups. Moscoso has been up in the bullpen this whole half inning for the Rockies.
Punch to first off Brandon Belt, and Nelson will be safe at first base. Runners on the corners. Nobody out in the 4th inning. Good at bat for Chris Nelson. Dave Righetti's going to go out and talk to the 35-year-old Vogelsong.
Well, if Belt wasn't left-handed, he would have not even come close to getting that as hard as Chris hit it. But it skips off his glove, and Scudero hustling behind the play keeps it from going any further.
The official score has not ruled yet.
I know it was hit hard. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he gives him an error.
And he is going to give Belt an error.
A 5th error for Brandon Belt this year.
Charlie Blackmon, a great opportunity to help the Rockies extend their lead. Nobody out. 1st and 3rd. Blackmon solid on that road trip, went 5 for 11. In fact, all 5 hits came in consecutive at bats. He had a 4-for-4 ball game in his hometown of Atlanta. That had to help with the old confidence.
Yeah, when you're hitting below 200, you go 4 for 4 in a game, come out the next night, throw out another base hit. You know, when you look up at the scoreboard, you don't feel as bad.
Back up the middle, and this will turn into a double play, but the run scores. So Rosario comes home with the Rockies' 4th run. No RBI for Blackmon since that produced a couple of outs. To short. And LeMahieu thrown out by Brandon Crawford. Rockies get a run. Leadoff double by Ramon Hernandez. 4-1. Xcel Energy high efficiency inning. Well, for Alex White, in the third inning, he got Angel Pagan to ground to short, struck out Marco Scutero. And Pablo Sandoval had a splattered bat and a roller to Jordan Pacheco. Our Xcel Energy high efficiency inning. Well, Alex White makes it 8 straight starts that he goes 4 innings. Ramon Hernandez out of the ball game. We'll get an update on his injury. Willeen Rosario in to catch Guillermo Moscoso. Moscoso will be the bridge man tonight.
Guillermo's come back and done a better job than what he was doing earlier this year as far as the workload and how it's going. I know the numbers don't bear it out, but he's pitched solid in that hybrid. Last outing in Atlanta bears that out. An inning and 2/3, couple strikeouts, just 23 pitches needed in that game.
So White goes 4 innings, allows 1 run on 6 hits. Did not walk anybody, and he struck out 2. But 76 pitches to get through those 4 innings. Ryan Vogelsong leading off against Moscoso. Here's the 0-1 from Guillermo. Guillermo started last year for the Oakland A's and had one of the lowest batting averages against in the American League. And initially he was looked upon as a rotation guy, and then ultimately got moved to the bullpen this year. Went back and forth between the big club in Colorado Springs, and he has, told the Rockies that he's got a comfort level now coming out of the bullpen, and he wants to remain in that spot.
And when he first came over, he viewed himself as the starter, and it didn't work out. And you have to reinvent yourself and do things differently when you change leagues and change organizations. And he's more aggressive now as a pitcher than he was early. Early on, he was nibbling too much, and then he would fall behind. Now it's, here's my fastball. It's hard. It's sinking. Hit it, and let's see what happens.
I think Guillermo also is adjusting to pitching at Coors Field. He's a fly ball pitcher. And we know sometimes at Coors Field we know what happens to fly balls.
Jeremy Guthrie, it didn't work out well. Then he goes on to Kansas City. It happens. You have to figure out how to pitch in your ballpark and make the adjustment.
And Jeremy's pitching well for Kansas City, and this is not meant as a slap to Jeremy, but I think, and he's a candid guy, he would admit to you that it got in his head.
It did.
It got in his head, Coors Field, because his numbers on the road weren't bad.
No, but you could tell when some of the actions and what he did after coming out of games, you could tell it got into his head.
Diving attempt by LeMahieu.
DJ made a dive in yesterday's game, came up with it cleanly. This one scoots out of his glove. Right off the end, and then you don't have a chance when it's off the end of your glove, doesn't get into the webbing. You don't have the chance to hold it tight and put a firm grasp on the baseball. Once you hit the ground, that's when it scoots out.
Rockies up 4-1. Pagan, fairly close play at first. Giants have won 18 of their last 27 games. And they have been really special out on the road.
19-6 since the All-Star break, and the last 8 road series for them, 7-0-1.
How about this? This is popped up and playable. Rosario makes the catch. 2 outs. They've hit on the road since the All-Star break 309 with runners in scoring position. That'll help the old win column. There it is. Since the All-Star break, best record in baseball out on the road. And they have that great home field advantage at AT&T because there are so many low-scoring games, and they usually have a better starter than you do.
Yeah, that's pitching. I was talking to Mark Gardner, their bullpen coach, about it. Mark and I played together in the Montreal system, and that's what he alluded to, that they, especially at home, they know that they just need a couple runs. And when you go into a game with that mindset, it makes things easier when you get a base runner out there because you know how the game's going to be played. You're going to bunt him over, you'll get him over to third, and then try to manufacture 1 run.
Sandoval's 0 for 2. Mark Teixeira, you saw, hurt his calf again on that dive into first base the other night.
Which he was safe on, by the way.
Bad call, missed call. He's going to be out, they believe, 10 to 14 days with that calf injury. And the Yankees are fighting for their playoff lives.
Kept thinking the Orioles were going to go away. They haven't.
Runner going, fly ball left center field. Carlos Gonzalez waiting. He's got it. Moscoso allows a hit, leaves a man on in that 5th inning. 4-1 Colorado. Sports is brought to you by the Ford Focus. It's 40 miles per gallon of pure fun. Start more than a car. Ford Focus. Go further. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T Rethink Possible. By Sonic. Try Sonic's all-new Hickory Flat Melts. They're like a barbecue feast in the palm of your hand. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Oh, 2 on Moscoso. He got locked up, strike 3. Tyler Colvin's 2 for 2, a double and a single. When he's hitting that leadoff spot in the order, Tyler, well, he's clicked pretty much everywhere he's been, but coming into the ball game, hitting .341 in the leadoff spot. And of course, those numbers will go up with the 2 hits tonight. It's his 12th ball game.
When you couple that with what Dexter Fowler's done from the leadoff spot, what Eric Young Jr.'s done from the leadoff spot when he was out there, they've gotten the production there.
Yeah, not to be forgotten, because you know EY has the same issue that Michael Kadire does, dealing with an oblique. EY for about 3 weeks there, given the opportunity to play every day, was nothing short of sensational.
He was getting it seemed like 2 or 3 hits a night, and how many scoring runs at will. That would jumpstart that offense, and then Dexter was hitting third at the time. He had the dynamics at the top.
0-2 on Colvin. Brandon Crawford will handle this one. And that'll bring up the product of the University of Alabama, Josh Rutledge.
Hitting the road. Subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out of market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality.
Rutledge double and a ribby in the first. Ground ball to third in his last at bat. In nearly half of his big league ball games that are starts, he's thrown out a multi-hit game. 41 big league starts, 18 multi-hit games. He could make it 19 with another knock tonight.
And slugging coming into the game .561.
This is hit hard, but right at the second baseman. And Scudero throws to Brandon Belt. It's a 1-2-3 fifth inning for Ryan Vogelsong. Rockies leading though 4-1. We'll go to the 6th. We've got a great college football lineup this Saturday on Root Sports. Start the day off with Louisiana Lafayette at Oklahoma State at 10 in the morning. Then it's the Aggies of Texas A&M and SMU at 1:30. And stay tuned after the Rockies game for a Mountain West football showdown. Well, it's not a complete Mountain West showdown. Hawaii is taking on Lamar. It's the best in college football right here on Root Sports. Now, the one thing I recall about Lamar is back in the day. They recruited one Jeff Houston
Yes,
to play
they did.
baseball there.
Down in Beaumont, Texas.
Did you make a recruiting trip?
No.
You just summarily dismissed them?
Well, I just went to Wyoming. I saw the school, decided to go there, and
Fell in love with the prairie?
yes, I did. And the wind.
Buster Posey at the plate. Buster fouls it off. So it's Lamar and Hawaii. That's a traditional battle.
I wasn't quite familiar with those two as teams that battled often.
It has escaped me. Tell me Lamar's nickname.
Cardinals.
Of course. Moscoso falls behind Buster 2-1. Posey out of Florida State. They have a well thought of football program this year under Jimbo Fisher.
They had a halter game the other day because of the weather
And
and a high score.
yeah. Savannah State. I mean, Dougie, look up who Savannah State has this weekend, because they've had enough with Oklahoma State and Florida State. They've been outscored about 300-6 in the first 2 weeks of the season.
But I think their bank account
Their bank account is far more significant than it was 2 weeks
helps
ago.
fund the other programs.
2-2, good looking pitch. Evidently not good enough. 3-2. Here's the 3-2 on Posey. And Buster throws out another hit. Tulo we talked about, getting better, slow process. Michael Kadire, same deal, slow process. Michael, clubhouse today, continuing to get treatment. Dougie, you handed me a note on who Savannah State's playing. Oh, Savannah. Oh, that's SS. I didn't even know. So it's the Savannah State Tigers. And they have North Carolina Central next week, so they have 2 weeks to prepare for. I like Savannah State in that game. Experience.
Good for you. On the swing. Yeah, it was a pass ball on the swing from.
Let's see that one again.
Yeah, Hunter Pence.
See how. That'll be a wild pitch.
Why? Because it hit the dirt first.
Yeah. It is a wild pitch. But the glove came up, and you don't want to act as an infielder. This is on the ground to second. Pence does his job once Posey had moved up.
Hey, Jack and Centennial, I agree with you that Melky Cabrera should not be allowed to win a batting title if it gets to that. If he still has the lead, and you've been suspended for 50 games.
I don't think he'll be back with the Giants, even if that thing.
No, but I'm just saying, but he could still win a batting title.
Right.
The way the rules are written now.
Brandon Belt 2 for 2. Pulled to first. Run will score. Pacheco gets to the bag. 2 outs. And again, the Rockies. Rosario's been struggling lately. I know that's a wild pitch, but I was starting to comment. Huey, the glove came up. As a catcher, you're not trying to field it with your glove. You're just trying to block the 5-hole and not field it as if you're an infielder.
Yeah, and how do you work as an infielder? How are we taught? Ground up. Not try to stab going down, but let it go. Put your glove on the ground, drop to your knees, and then if it does come up, it's going to hit you in the arm or the chest protector.
So Belt picks off his 48th RBI. Nobody on for Gregor Blanco in a 4-2 ball game.
Our last note on Savannah State. They've been outscored 139-0.
In a game and a half.
In a game and a half.
I've never heard of a running clock in football, but they used it this past weekend.
One and two on Blanco. Moscoso came inside with a fastball, just nicked foul. And a base hit to center field. That'll bring up Brandon Crawford.
Being down just by 2 runs, you still have the stolen base card if you want to play it if you're Bruce Bochy. Blanco 21-24 in stolen bases. It's always easier to get your lead too if the pitcher doesn't have the baseball in his hand. He has it in his glove like Moscoso does, because it takes him longer to go reach for it to turn and throw to first. Ooh, nice pick from Jordan. You have to be agile on your feet. Always assume it's going to be a bad throw. And if it's a good throw, you can react, obviously, but bad throw, you can go either way.
Rockies have been out hit 9-6, but they lead 4-2. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Blanco doesn't go. Crawford takes high ball 1. Crawford's a product of UCLA. Picked by the Giants in the 4th round of the 2008 draft.
I just saw a UCLA product yesterday, this past weekend with Chase Utley.
It's 2-0. It was a thrill for Crawford to be drafted by the Giants because his parents were longtime season ticket holders and he grew up adoring the Giants. Three and 0.
And on the on deck circle is Hector Sanchez.
It's in Vogelsong's spot. a 4-pitch walk. 2 on for Hector Sanchez, who will pinch hit for Vogelsong. Sanchez is a catcher by trade, and while Pablo Sandoval was down, saw some Buster Posey at first base and Hector Sanchez behind the plate. Hector Sanchez reminds you a little bit the way he swings the bat of Pablo.
I was thinking the same thing. They're both switch hitters. They're both very aggressive guys that'll hit balls that you think, how did he hit that?
You know, similar stances, similar body types. This guy can hit. He's done damage at Coors Field. Bo McLaughlin will come out. Pattern I've noticed with Bo, if he sees something in the middle of a count, he'll go out. A lot of times you'll see the pitching coach go out, you know, after a walk in between batters. And Bo's not opposed to coming out in the middle of an at bat.
Yeah, we've seen him come out 2-0, 3-0. And usually when he does come out in those particular instances, it's more of a mechanical issue that's going on. And right now for Guillermo, he's just rushing to the plate. He's not getting the balance over the rubber to be able to deliver the ball consistently in the area he wants to.
And it's 2-0. The crowd's starting to get restless.
And now you're starting to see the fielders behind him start to bend down and stretch the legs.
That's fouled off, so it's a 2-1 count. Blanco's at second. He singled. Crawford just walked. He is at first. Posey began the inning with a soft single to left. Wild pitch moved him to second. Fielder's choice ground ball to third, and another fielder's choice ground ball from Brandon Belt got him home. Two.
With the open stance for Sanchez, he likes the ball inside. He likes it right over there, but so if you can pitch him out there, you can keep him off balance.
Strikes out Sanchez and leaves 2 on. Middle of inning number 6. The Rockies leading the Giants 4-2. Just look back in the second inning. Hunter Pence, with the Giants trailing 2-0, would hit a slider out of the ballpark against Alex White. Alex White, though, would get the Giants back himself with his first career home run. One of the deepest portions of the ballpark. It was 3-1 at that point. And the Rockies would get another run in the fourth, a leadoff double by Ramon Hernandez. But the story is Ramon hobbling here. The only reason he got the second, it was a ground rule double. He had to come out of the ball game. We still haven't heard yet from the clubhouse what the injury is specifically. Rosario replaced him, would score. The Rockies leading 4-2. That's our look back, brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Dan Runzler has been injured for a good portion of this year, making just his second appearance this season. Runzler was at Fresno. He missed the first 2.5 months of the season with a strain of his lat.
That's he hurt in the very last game of 2011.
Now, one thing you remember and you saw there, Runzler can bring it.
Yes, I mean it's mid to upper 90s. They have 4 left-handers out in the pen now for the Giants. So Bruce Bochy wants to truly mix and match from here on out. He can do that. 4 left-handers and 9 right-handers in his pen.
1-1 on Carlos Gonzalez. Ground ball and a fly ball, 0 for 2. Cargo hits it in the air to right. Pence is going to glove it. 1 out.
Sure enough, Bochy is going to mix and match.
Well, when you have 400 pitchers in the bullpen, they have 36 guys with them right now.
Why not?
It takes them 3 buses to get to the ballpark.
You have guys that have specialties. The bullpen and everywhere else. You can pinch run, you can do different things. Now they're going to see Otero.
Yep, Dan Otero. They'll stay with the Dan, so they'll just go with a different guy, righty now. 4-2 Rockies. We all know college is important for your kid's future, so start your child's College Invest Savings account when they're young. Helps you prepare financially for when that day arrives, and your contributions are deductible on your Colorado state income taxes. Are you saving for college or just talking about it? CollegeInvest.org. One out in the 6th inning for the Rockies. Jordan Pacheco will face Dan Otero. He just was brought up at the beginning of September. He was on the opening day roster.
The third time this year he's been out and up for the Giants. Fresno, 48 relief appearances, a 5-5 record with a 2.90 ERA.
Pacheco an RBI hit in the first. 1-1 the count. Two and two on Jordan. Rosario on deck. Crawford, 2 outs.
The first 10,000 fans tomorrow will receive a coupon for a $1 hot dog courtesy of Hebrew National.
First at bat for Willeen. Slider is a strike.
Otero attended Duke University and then went to the University of South Florida where he finished up.
One and two the count. Rockies trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Tough day yesterday for Rosario. The 4 passed balls, and then in the nightcap the Rockies committed 5 errors. He was not scheduled to play tonight, but when Hernandez hurt himself, he was forced to come in. Rockies were trying to give him a day off mentally.
That's wise. You're going to have your ups and downs and have great days and days you'd like to just put behind you.
Knocked down by Sandoval. He won't have a play. Rosario running hard the whole way. That will allow Chris Nelson to hit here in the 6th.
This is just a drop from Pablo Sandoval. He got handcuffed, kept the glove too close to his body, didn't reach out and try to snag it. Off the back side of it. And an error on Sandoval, his 12th.
Nelson reached on an error by Belt in the 4th inning. A little tougher call for the official score. The ball that Chris hit could have gone either way. And this ball's well hit left center field. And it's going to bounce off the wall. Rosario around third. He'll score easily. It gets away for a moment. Nelson will get a stop sign at third, and the Rockies have a 5-2 lead. And now Pablo Sandoval hanging his head.
Third triple for Chris Nelson. What I was concerned with this ball off the bat of Nelly wasn't so much of where it was going to be, but was it going to hit and then bounce over the wall for a ground rule double? But it didn't. It kicks off the bottom part of the wall and then goes to the right of Pagan. Chris running hard, cutting the bases properly the whole way, and he's just waiting for Richie Dower to keep waving that arm.
Charlie Blackmon 0 for 2, pulled foul. That's the 47th triple for the club this year, and that ties the Giants for the major league lead in triples. And you may be wondering, how did the Giants hit all those triples? Triples Alley out there in right center field at AT&T Park.
Or if you hit one to right field that goes off that wall out there, because it's brick, you don't know where it's going to go. That whole area.
Well, the place to go for triples is the NL West. Padres with 37. That's a base hit to right center field. Chris Nelson comes in. Charlie Blackmon makes it 6-2. Second RBI for Blackmon. A little 2-out rally here in the 6th. All these runs unearned because of the error by Pablo Sandoval.
And you have to take advantage. If they're going to give you that 4th out for an inning, use it. And the Rockies have this inning. You get the triple from Chris Nelson and Charlie Blackmon with his second RBI of the season. Keep pouring it on.
Thought here to run on the first pitch.
I was thinking the same, that I would, just because the pitcher's rattled. The pitching coach just came out. He's thinking, I got to throw a strike, and lose your focus and forget about the guy at first.
He wasn't going. Would have been a good pitch in hindsight to go on, because Posey had to reach for it. The other factors, even if he was thrown out, DJ LeMahieu would lead off next inning. The pitcher spot is next, but the Rockies will go to the bench. You have a 4-run lead. 2-0. 2-0 typically. There's Andrew Brown on deck. Typically not a count you'd run on.
Yeah, but if it gets back to 2-1, you could.
And a base hit through the right side. For the Rockies getting after Dan Otero. 3 straight hits. And that'll bring up Andrew Brown.
Bochy going to confer with Dave Righetti, the pitching coach. Probably give him one more hitter. The left-hander on deck, and Tyler Colvin, left-hander, warming up out in the bullpen for the Giants.
Maharis is warming up. Jose Maharis.
And Brown takes strike 2.
I'm sure these two guys have squared off in the PCL. AAA club for the Giants being in Fresno.
One and two. Was held by Posey. Strikeout of Brown, but the Rockies, after the error by Pablo Sandoval, scored twice. They lead it by 4 runs. Join in on the conversation with Toyota Talk in the post-game show. Text Toyota to 720-720. Continue that during the Toyota post-game show. Learn how to win a free membership to the Denver Zoo for a year also. Rex Brothers in the 7th inning against the top of the Giants order, Angel Pagan, Marco Scudero, and Pablo Sandoval. So 4 innings from Alex White, 2 innings from Moscoso. White gave up a run. Moscoso gave up a run.
28 pitches yesterday for Rex Brothers. That was in game 1 of the doubleheader.
10 pitchers used in that doubleheader yesterday.
Pagan's splits right and left are real similar. 283 from the right side.
Ball in the air to deep center. Colvin initially didn't read it.
Ball must be carrying better tonight than what the outfielders think. We saw Pagan earlier today with the ball over his head, and then this one for Tyler Colvin. He had to backtrack. Came in and then changed routes.
0-2 on Marco.
1 for 3 tonight. Base hit in the first inning.
Rex has been working on this second half a calmer delivery, not quite as violent. When you have a violent delivery, like a violent swing at the plate, your head will move too much and you can't see where you're trying to throw or what you're trying to hit. Because of what he's done, he's throwing more quality strikes now.
Slice to right, a base hit for Scudero, his second of the ball game. That'll bring up Pablo Sandoval. He'll step in from the right side against Brothers. Rockies fans, Root Sports has launched a new interactive second screen experience called Game Connect. You'll get live game stats, including play-by-play and all head-to-head stats. Dig deeper into the matchups and chat with other fans in Game Talk. If you like interacting, visit rootsports.com/Rocky Mountain to connect. Sandoval 0 for 3. Strike one on Pablo. Last time the Giants were here, they swept the Rockies and they outscored Colorado 35-13. And they've won 9 of their last 10 at Coors Field. Second highest scoring road team in baseball to the Angels. Got him to chase.
Straight out of the hand from the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, the changeup. He put that baseball on the 3 fingers, put it deep into the palm, and then just let the friction of the fingers take away the speed.
That's a big out there. Sandoval retired. And here comes Buster Posey with the Rockies up 6-2.
We had a question on the Toyota text that I didn't have a chance to get to. They were asking if Buster was his real name. Is that what is on his birth certificate? No, it's not. His full name is Gerald Dempsey Posey III. His father is known as Dimp, was nicknamed Buster as a kid, so he just passed it along to his son.
There you go. Name another famous Buster. Dougie wrote Buster Rhymes.
Buster Keaton.
James Buster Douglas.
Boxer.
Knocked out the invincible Mike Tyson, thought to be invincible. Posey leans on this one, right center field and deep and gone. Now how big were those 2 unearned runs last inning? Posey a home run last night, his 21st tonight. It's 6-4.
And his 3rd hit tonight.
That'll help the old MVP candidacy. Last 10 ball games, he's hitting .400.
Well, we saw him earlier in a highlight in the game against the Dodgers take a ball out to center field. This time it's right center field. You have to have strength and you have to have proper swing planes and mechanics to hit it that far the opposite way. Buster Posey did.
Hunter Pence, who homered in his first at bat tonight, 1 for 3. Fastball at 95. 1-1.
Yeah, from the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Look at belt high. Palm up, palm down. With that home run, he ties Brian McCann for 4th among Major League catchers. A.J. Przinsky first with 25. Willeen Rosario 23. Saltalamacchia also has 23.
And Matt Belisle getting ready. His innings coming up, the 8th inning.
The Camarena Loft, located in center field, is a great option for your group. Individual tickets are also available on select dates. Book the newly expanded Camarena Loft today. 303 Rockies or online at ColoradoRockies.com.
Three and 2 the count on Hunter Pence. And Pence draws a walk, and tying run comes up in Brandon Belt. Those brothers will stay out there because it's a left on left situation.
Belt hitting just .235 left on left.
And just a fly ball left center field. Cargo and Tyler Colvin. Colvin makes the catch. Scudero a single. Buster Posey an opposite field 2-run home run at 6-4. They'll have the top of the order here in the 7th inning. Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more, and they're a run away from that for the Rockies Taco special, text TACO to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Former Rocky Jeremy Affeldt, a mainstay late in ball games for the Giants, will be on for the 56th time. Tyler Colvin, Josh Rutledge, Carlos Gonzalez.
2 out of the 3 guys for the Rockies are left-handed. Left is hitting just .225 off of Affeldt this year. 24.89. He's not allowed a home run in his last 33 innings.
And Colvin bounces this one foul. Reds and the Pirates are in the 11th inning, tied at 3. McCutchen is 26th in that game. Heisey is 7th for the Reds. Cubs leading the Astros 4-1. They're in the 7th in Houston. Houston 44-96. Brewers in the 8th, leading the Braves 4-1. Brewers trying to sneak into the wild card picture. Affeldt strikes out Colvin. Want to bring up Rutledge. Josh is 1 for 3, double and an RBI in the first, scored a run. Ground ball to third, ground ball to second as well. Cargo getting ready in the on deck circle. Well, we finally have gotten word from the Rockies clubhouse. Left hamstring strain for Ramon Hernandez.
At this point in the season, on the 10th of September, be iffy if we see him the rest of the year.
I unfortunately would agree with you. Hopefully we'll be wrong, but
well, just the way he hobbled when he took off, everything is good, and then to pull up that bad when you're running just straight ahead.
1-2 on Rutledge.
Wow, how about the cut on that ball from Affeldt?
And that gets away. The way Rutledge runs, he's going to be safe at first. Strikeout, wild pitch. And Carlos Gonzalez will come up.
Take it any way you can. You swing, but you don't put your head down. You see it kick away. You run hard and get to first base. The Rockies took advantage of 2 miscues, or the miscue last inning, to score 2 runs. Take advantage of the strikeout wild pitch.
Cargo 0 for 3. Well, the Rockies have done a good job so far tonight taking advantage of Giant mistakes. Giants have committed 2 errors last inning. The Rockies scored 2 unearned runs off Dan Otero. 3 straight hits after a Pablo Sandoval error, which should have been the 3rd out. Rosario reached, then Nelson a triple, Blackman a single. DJ LeMahieu also had a single in the inning. Padres leading the Cardinals in the 4th inning 4-2 at Petco. Cameron Maben his 7th. That's a strike. And it's 0-2. Cardinals been scuffling a little bit, huh, Huey?
They have.
Phillies are now a game under 500. They beat the Marlins tonight at Citizens Bank 3-1. Dominic Brown, his 2nd home run.
That's what they kept saying. Just let us get back to 500 and we'll see what happens.
Well, now they're a game away. The other game in the National League, the Nationals earlier beat the Mets 5-1. Gio Gonzalez got the victory. He's now 19-7. Ryan Zimmerman is 21st. Ian Desmond his 22nd. Scott Hairston is 16th in the loss.
First National Leaguer to 19.
American League, they're going to the 6th inning in Anaheim, 2-1 Oakland. That was a big series out west.
Who's on the hill for Oakland?
Slowly hit the second on the tag. Double play. And Jim Tracy's going to argue. He doesn't think Rutledge was tagged. He's really getting after Angel Campos. And Tracy just got thrown out. Tim McClellan, the crew chief, going out. And what I want to know is, if it's not okay to put your hand on an umpire, why is it okay for the umpire to put his hand?
I don't think it should be
on a manager or a player unless you're breaking up an altercation. Well, that's not even close.
I mean, that's a 6-8 inches away.
Unless he said he was out of the baseline, but that wasn't the indication. Scheduled, and then once Ryan Theriot was announced as a pinch hitter, the acting manager Tom Runnels went out, took the baseball from Brothers, and calls on Matt Belisle.
Go back to that play a moment ago where Jim Tracy got tossed out of the game. Yeah, Scutaro didn't touch him, and what the umpire Angel Campos was pointing at was he got him on the tag. It wasn't because he was out of the baseline, but his angle, he couldn't see him miss the tag. And you have the option as a base runner to deviate, trying to go out of the tag of the infielder. You have to get out of his way to allow him to make the play. So you've got a range of 3 feet.
Based on what you saw there, should it have been out of the baseline? Should that have been the call?
That should have been the call, not
right.
the tag.
Yeah, because I looking at that, I think he cleared himself onto the grass, which is out of the baseline.
Right, but that's not the call that was made on the field.
No, and I said that last.
Yeah.
When we saw it initially.
So you watch him go all the way over to here. But that's still only 2.5, 3 feet. It's that last stride that got him way over onto that part of the grass. But Jim Tracy had every right to go out there and argue, but Angel Campos couldn't get help from anybody because the closest guy was the first base umpire, and he had to make the call at first.
So Terrio in the 8th inning in a 2-run ball game will pinch hit against Matt Belisle. Brandon Crawford. DJ LeMahieu makes the catch, 1 out.
Off the end of the bat, Terrio didn't even drop his bat. Bat's broken. He doesn't have to worry about putting that one back into the bat rack. Just put it in the garbage can.
And it was saving work for the bat boy. Crawford takes ball 1. Crawford, a .382 career hitter against the Rockies. 2-0. Aubrey Huff in the on-deck circle, 3-0.
Where's that pitch?
I don't know, but you don't see many 3-0 counts with Matt Belisle.
No, but it said it in the first inning with Tim McClellan. He calls the high strike, not the low one, because he is so tall.
That's off the plate. So now the tying run will come up, and a guy who has plenty of pop, Aubrey Huff. Of course, Huff not used nearly like he used to be. He's got just 64 at bats this year, a home run and 6 RBIs.
2 for 16 as a pinch hitter, but against Matt Belisle in his career, 3 for 5.
And Huff is now 4 for 6.
We'll see if they put a pinch runner out for Huff with all the players they have on their bench.
Now, Emmanuel Burris is their designated pinch runner. It will not be Burris, it'll be Peguero. It's Francisco Peguero. Pagan is 2 for 4 tonight.
Dandy breaking pitch.
Strike 1 on Angel. Pagan hitting .316 his last 27 games. One ball, 1 strike.
Shook off to go fastball inside. He threw it by him.
One and two on Pagan. Two and two on Pagan. The tying run at first base in Francisco Peguero. At second base is Brandon Crawford. A walk and a base hit.
I like what Josh Rutledge is doing to Brandon Crawford at second base, not allowing him to get a big lead. Stay in his hip pocket. Be right behind him. Pat your glove. Let him know you're there.
This is sliced to left. Fair ball. Crawford will score. Peguero to third. Throw there is not in time. And going to second base is Angel Pagan. It's a 6-5 ball game. And now the go-ahead run in scoring position, with Marco Scutaro coming up.
This is how you take a pitch the opposite way. You just keep the hands back, and it looks reminiscent of Ichiro. Not quite running out of the box, but just slicing to the corner, driving in Crawford, and Peguero, the pinch runner for Aubrey Huff, hustling to third.
And now Marco Scutaro, doesn't it figure? First half of the year with the Rockies, he gets a curveball, ball one. Scutaro 2 for 4 tonight. He's hitting .354 against right-handed pitching since becoming a Giant, and he's hitting .340 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, 27,
with the Giants.
Yeah, 27 out of the 57 RBIs that he has is in a Giant uniform.
In far fewer games. The overall numbers with runners in scoring position. Tying run at third in Peguero. Pagan, who can fly, is at second, represents the go-ahead run in the eighth. And this is on the ground to Pacheco. That's a textbook job. He checked the runner and got the out at first. There are 2 outs. And Pablo Sandoval's coming up.
You're playing in Jordan Pacheco, one hop. Look at him, get the baseball out of your glove, touch first base, and look again.
Sandoval 0 for 4. Tommy Runnels wants to convey something to Matt Belisle. Something along the lines of, we want to get this guy, not the guy in the on-deck circle. Ordinarily, you say, okay, a left-handed bat, because Sandoval's a switch hitter. First base open, but you want nothing to do with Buster Posey.
No, and Buster's also 3 for 6 against Matt Belisle, where Sandoval's just 1 for 5. Infielders, if it's on the ground, you have to dive and at least knock it down to keep the guy from scoring at second.
That's a called strike. 1-1. Sandoval's hit into a double play, grounded to first, hit a fly ball to left, and popped to second. Two outs in the eighth, a one-run game.
That got away with a hanger. Two times a night, Sandoval's got hanging breaking pitches, and he's fouled them back. But you'll take it if you're Belisle, and I'll make your pitch and finish this inning off. See ya.
Close with Tim McClellan. Said it was outside. It was.
He was right. It just looked like the way that Rosario received it, where he was, it caught him in the center part of his body, but he had set up off the plate.
And this is in the air to left. Cargo will have room, and he makes the catch. So the Giants get within a run. They leave two in scoring position. Middle of eight, 6-5 Colorado. Arrow stays in the ball game in left field. And Gene Machi is a new pitcher for the Giants.
Made his major league debut a few days back, Monday. He was a primary closer for this second half of the season for Fresno, 15 for 18 in save chances.
One other defensive change, Ryan Terrio is in the ball game at second base. So Scudero's out. Pacheco, Rosario, and Nelson in the eighth inning. The Rockies love to add some insurance runs.
That showed what happened in the sixth inning, getting those two extra runs. Another two up there to give Rafael Betancourt some more breathing room.
This ball's hammered to center field, and it's going to be run down and caught by Pagan. A loud first out off the bat of Jordan Pacheco.
There's nothing wrong with Pagan's jump on that ball. Because if he doesn't get a good jump, he doesn't make this play, and it's a double, possible triple for Jordan Pacheco. Off the bat, he creates the angle that he needs to get back there. It wasn't straight across. He was giving ground to home plate. Reach out. Stretch the whole way. Even with the tumble, you protect the ball, you lock your wrist in, and you keep the ball secure.
Willeen Rosario reached on an error by Pablo Sandoval in the 6th. That was his first at bat. Again, he came into the ball game in the 4th inning. After a double by Ramon Hernandez, he pulled a hamstring. Rockies led 4-1 and 6-2 in this game. And you know, over the weekend, they had leads in all 3 games against Philadelphia: 2-0, 2-0, 4-1, and they lost 3-2, 3-2, 7-4.
And walked off twice of those 3 losses.
And the Giants have been pecking away. They've scored in each of the last 3 innings. A run in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Here's the 0-1, 1-1.
This is where it helps to have Stu Cole and Renee Latchman, your AAA coaches, for guys like Gene Machi, who's pitched down in Fresno. What does he have? Is it a fastball? Is it a curveball? No, it's a slider. How hard? 90 to 92 miles an hour, because the scouting reports, it's tough to get them when the guys have been down in the minor leagues the whole time.
Go, baby, be a hitter.
1-2. Boy, that was dirty, huh? Looked like a split. Rosario, the second out.
Well, if it was a split or a slider, it had the correct action. That was some depth and bite on it. It was the split. And that one was, it's more of a split finger because of how far he put the ball back into the hands and the finger.
Chris Nelson, a triple and a ribby his last at bat. 1 for 3 tonight. And a base hit for Nelly. That hit, he moves the average above 270. And that'll allow Charlie Blackmon to swing the bat. Charlie singled in a run in the 6th inning.
Pretty big gap in right center field.
Belt comes up with the low throw.
Angel Pagan on the shortstop side of second base, but there's a ton of territory out there. Charlie gets a fastball in, or gets the barrel of the bat out there quicker on the split finger.
Called strike. Gene Machi with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Nelson at first. 10 hits for the Rockies, 13 for the Giants. Betancourt was going to see Posey, Pence, and Bell in the 9th. Off the plate. 2-1. And that's in the zone. 2-2.
Mayhew on deck, sizing up Machi. Chris has a big lead at first. Only 1 stolen base this year, but he got out an extra half step. That'll help you if that ball is in the gap to be able to score. That last step for him puts that lead at 13 to 14 feet.
Terrio will throw out Blackman. So the Rockies don't extend their lead, but they'll take a 6-5 advantage and hand it to Rafael Betancourt in the 9th. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Buy College Invest. Are you saving for college or just talking about it? Buy Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. And by Ram Trucks. Now get a great deal on a new Ram truck at the summer clearance event going on right now. Rockies 6 and the Giants 5. Joel Klatt coming up right after the ball game. Joel?
That's right, Drew. How about a little wide out? That's right. Alex White hits a home run foul, comes back a couple pitches later, puts a charge into one, gets his home run fair. Plus, how about the unearned margin in this game? It's just 1 right now, but 2 unearned runs that the Rockies have scored against a team with the 2nd fewest errors since the All-Star break in the National League. We'll talk about that. Plus, get down to the clubhouse for Jim Tracy. That's all coming up on the Toyota post-game show. Drew, take it away.
You got it, Joel. Thank you. So Rafael Betancourt, his first assignment will be Buster Posey, and that's never an easy assignment. Buster having a Posey-like night. Single, 2-run home run, 3 for 4 this evening. Betancourt looking for his 28th save.
Yeah, since July 18th, Betancourt 12 for 13 in save opportunities. 17 innings, just 2 earned runs and a 1.06 ERA. And he was in yesterday's ball game in a game that wasn't a safe situation because he hadn't worked since Monday. In that game, he was able to face Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Pete Orr to get some of the rust off.
To an interesting stat, the opposition hitting .222 against Rafael Betancourt. That's the best for a Rockies pitcher. In other words, the lowest batting average against. The next two, one won't surprise you, I don't think. One may. Adam Ottavino has allowed the opposition to hit .225. Not really a surprise. He's been good. Fouled off. The other, who's tied with Ottavino, the opposition hitting just .225 against this man, Carlos Torres.
Boy, Carlos has been throwing the ball.
He has.
If you watch him, whenever he comes out, it's been good.
Nelson protecting against the double on the left field line or third base line, and the outfield very deep.
Jordan's not on the line at first because Posey's not looking to hit it that way.
Betancourt ahead 0-2 on Posey.
The way Betancourt goes after the hitters, Posey was aggressive when he came out. They weren't taking a strike. Some managers will call for that, but if a closer gets ahead, like a Trevor Hoffman, no sense on taking a strike because you're 0-1. Yes, he went.
He did go, and Posey is gone. Huge strikeout for Rafael Betancourt.
And also give kudos, though, to Willeen Rosario. He called for it, he blocked it, he picked it right up and tagged Posey.
And Boch is upset because he felt like that should have been checked out with the corner umpire. In other words, Eric Cooper at first base.
Did his bat travel past that line?
Really close.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, on a check swing, the home umpire will defer to first or third, depending on if it's a righty or a lefty. Pence hit a home run his first time up. He takes a strike. Well, since the start of July, only one person's hit a home run against Rafael Betancourt, and it's the guy at the plate, Hunter Pence. Pop foul out of play. 0-2. I agree with you 1,000% on your point about Posey swinging the bat without taking a strike against Betancourt. And the two thoughts are, first of all, I want Posey to hit.
Yes.
And the other part of it is, if you have a guy, as you said, you mentioned Trevor Hoffman, Betancourt doesn't walk anybody. He's not going to all of a sudden fire, 4 scuds up there. And you get the tying run on in that fashion.
Yeah, 12 walks, 4 of those have been intentional. So really only 8 walks in 50+ innings.
Now, there are some closers out there, and you think historically, a guy like Mitch Williams, who, had the nickname Wild Thing. There's a guy that I watched growing up in New York, Doug Sisk, who closed games for the Mets, who would typically, walk the bases loaded and somehow work out of it. Those are guys, you better take a strike.
Right, because he might walk you.
Right, they have a history of deep counts. Here's the 1-2 on Pence, and it's fouled off. Bochy's managed a lot of games here between the Padres and the Giants.
As for the fastball, low and away.
Ground ball toward the middle of the diamond. LeMahieu shaded that way, gets his man. DJ LeMahieu with a terrific play to get Hunter Pence, who runs well. 2 outs and nobody on in the ninth.
And give credit to Richie Dower in the scouting report, because DJ LeMahieu is playing up the middle and gets his ball on the shortstop side of second base and shows his shortstop's arm to make this play. And we've seen this young man flash some leather this year.
Brandon Belt, couple singles in 4 trips. He does have an RBI and a ground out in the 6th inning. Belt takes a strike. 9 pitches so far for Rafael Betancourt, and 8 have been strikes.
The type of guys you like coming out of the pen as a reliever. You know what you're getting.
One ball, 1 strike.
And even when he does miss, it's by an inch or 2.
Yeah.
The width of a baseball.
Fractions. Belt has swung it well against the Rockies this year, 8 for 17.
And now, like Chris Nelson was on the line with the right-handers, Jordan Pacheco at the first base side is on the line, and Chris is off the line at third.
1-2. Crowd standing, more than 25,000 on a Monday night. Giants lead the Dodgers by 5.5 in the NL West. Dodgers idle tonight. One, 2. He's got it. Rafael Betancourt nails it down. Rockies prevail 6-5. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Rafael Betancourt. Save number 28. Moscoso gets the win. He's 2-1. Ryan Vogelsong takes the loss. He is 12-8. The Rockies hang on 6-5. Today's delivery of the game brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Alex White pitched 4 innings, allowed 1 run, but he'll never forget this night because he took Ryan Vogelsong deep, and I mean deep, over 400 feet for his first career home run. Second home run by a Rocky pitcher this year. Lou Pomeranz has the other. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Again, the final score, the Rockies win it 6-5. Stick around, the Toyota postgame show is up next from here at Coors Field.